Hello everyone, I'm Marseille Beltré. I'm a product manager at ALPI. I'm working on Caneco BIM solution, the solution that ALPI proposed to analyze the electrical design that you've created on Revit and connected with Caneco BT. So I'm connected to show you how Caneco BIM works and how you can analyze and all your electrical design how you that you create on Revit. So what is Caneco BIM? We are going first to make a quick presentation on to make you understand the process of Caneco BIM and to show you how it works. And after that, I will start the software. I will start Revit and make a little project to make you see how it works exactly. So, what is Caneco BIM? Caneco BIM, it's the modelization of the electrical information in a building project. I mean, when you create a project and you make your electrical design, you have to think that electrical is not only putting all your equipment in the drawing, in the layout. Electrical, you have to think about all the different steps of your electrical design. First, of course, you've got to implant your equipment on the drawing. What ALPI proposed today, you can, coming from the implantation from Revit, you can automatically create a schematic directly link with what you have described on the drawing. We automatically generate the schematic corresponding. We can also calculate the circuit and define the right protection for and define the section of the cable. And after that, we can also size all the panel, define the size of the panel, define the size of the cable trays, analyzing all the cable going through each part of the tracks. Then we can also make a cost estimation of the installation. And then you can generate automatically your documentation from your implantation, from the schematic, from the calculation, and all things that you have done in this process. You automatically generate all the right documentation that you need, that you have said. That's what we call BIM Elec. BIM Elec is this process managing all the steps of the electrical design. And in each different point, you don't have to rewrite things. Data is keeping, the information is keeping in the different steps. Of course, that you can complete your model in each different step. That's what we call BIM Elec. BIM Elec, it started from your drawing, started from your model, started from Revit, and then you analyze the electrical design. Today, you have understood that we work with Autodesk software. We are connected with Autodesk software. We proposed Caneco BIM to talk with Revit, to discuss with Revit, and also we propose Caneco Implant. It's this software that you can use to keep the link between the project of Revit and AutoCAD. Today you can use Caneco Implantation to keep the link in your process. If you have a project that you still use AutoCAD, you can export the project from Revit to continue to analyze it with AutoCAD. And then, of course, you integrate the process that we propose. You can work on AutoCAD, you can work on Revit. We are going to see how it works exactly. Today, what is the workflow between Autodesk and ALPI? You can have a project on Revit. Using Caneco BIM, you can calculate the project with Caneco BT, with the right standard that you need and the right manufacturer that you choose. Now, of course, you can update the Revit model And as you know that in Revit you don't have the real length of wire, you can complete and modify this length with Caneco BIM before export it with Caneco BT. And if you want to analyze exactly the way the wire is going through, you can use what ALPI proposed, Caneco implementation in AutoCAD, to analyze exactly where the wire is going to. You go in details of the installation, and you can print more documentation with some details, some technical details that you don't have today in Revit. So, how it works exactly? You can have a Revit project. This project, we automatically recognize the electrical families. Caneco recognize every Revit family is equipped with electrical connectors. We also check, control, and complete the electrical network. We propose another view of the diagram that the Revit proposed. And in this view, you can, for example, select a group of circuit and add a bus bar. You select a group of circuit and you say these circuits are under this bus bar. And you can also select all the circuit connected to the panel, and you can say I want to add a percentage more on the length of this wire. For example, in here you add 20% more on the Revit length, and you can calculate your circuit based on the maximum length, calculate with 20%. You can also associate a Revit circuit to a Caneco style of circuit. You prepare your schematic then. When you import a project in Caneco BT, the diagram is automatically generated. You have different kind of view to manage your schematic by panel, or you can see all the networks. You can also size the panel by choosing the manufacturer you want to work with, Schneider, Legrand, ABB. You can have a view and you can have the size of the panel. And then what we're working on today is to update the Revit model. Exactly, you will be able to go in Revit and select the panel and say update, and it will automatically update the Revit family in the project with the right size coming from Caneco BT. We also proposed the solution to analyze the cable tray to see exactly if it's big enough and how you can manage all the wire in the cable tray. So, as we know exactly how the circuits are described, I mean, we know where it's coming from and where it's going to, so we can generate automatically the wire corresponding to a circuit, the cable corresponding to a circuit, and then we can select the wire and make them run through the cable trays. And at this point, we can make requests to see if the cable tray is big enough. And if it's not, you have some warnings telling you in red this part of cable tray is not big enough. So you can have a view on this point, and you can see here that the way that all the cable in the tracks are, the cable tray are, is not big enough. You can say that you want to put the cable in 2 layers, so you can have a reserve if you want to, and you can manage the way that the cable are running through the cable trays. And after that, of course, you can resize the cable tray and have the right size in the project, and also create your cable trays drawing, your cable trays view with the right label annotate the cable trays. And at this point, you will be able to update the the Revit model with the right size of the cable tray. That's what we propose today. That's how you can work today with Caneco BIM solution. And then, of course, that you can have in Revit all the electrical properties in the model. I mean, you can select a circuit, all Revit families, and you will see that Caneco had create all the properties that is defined, that is created on Revit. And you add the choice to see exactly which property that you want. And if you don't want that Caneco BIM creating your model this property, you can choose. You have the choice to create them. So of course you have this functionality for the circuit and all the equipment that we recognize. And you can also complete the Revit model with all the documentation produced by Caneco. I mean schematic, I mean list of material and things like that. And the schematic can be modified with Revit tools. So that's how it works. So let's see now with a little example how it works exactly. So I'm going to start a new project based on with a template that I had prepared. So I create a new project. And in this project, we are going to create some system, some electrical system, and make you see how you can analyze them with Caneco. Exactly what I shown you on in the PowerPoint before. So I create a little project based on DWG file that I linked in the project, and I create the walls around. You got two floors, main floor and first floor. So let's create the project. You go in Revit. You have a new ribbon called Caneco BIM, and Caneco BIM make you check the installation that you create. So in this project, when we will create the electrical system, Caneco BIM proposes to check if everything is well done before calculation. So let's create some electrical system in Revit. System, you choose, for example, new equipment, properties. You can choose, for example, a transfer. Yeah, let's take this one. Yes, you can put the transfer here, the technical room, and then you can a main switchboard. We're going to select a main switchboard. Yes, for example, this one. And another panel. And we can go on the first floor to have in the drawing the same panel. For example, let's put it in this room. Okay. So we are putting some switchboard, and we can create also cable tray from this point. Yes, we can go this way. No, and this way. Okay. So you create something. So we put some electrical families in the project. And first thing that you have to do is to recognize all your equipment. You have to name your equipment. So you select, for example, the transformer here. You can give it a name, it TR1, and you have to associate the electrical system here in this one. So you have to, okay, and in the secondary, of course, I have to put it in the secondary. I have to associate to the right electrical system. And I have to do that for each panel, this one and also this one. You can say it to the right electrical system. I mean, this panel will be the main switchboard, MSB. This one. It's very important to name your equipment because Caneco had to manage them also by their name. So their name is very important. So you have to name them. And also P2 for panel 2. So, and you don't forget to associate it to the right electrical system. Then what we can do now, we can connect this panel to the main switchboard. Yes, we can go down the other floors. This one, we can connect it to also to the main switchboard. And we can connect the main switchboard to the transfer also. So you have in the Revit Explorer, in the Revit System Navigator, you have the view that all your system is connected. Then let's put some equipment in the drawing, some light, or just sample. Let's take this one and put, for example, the 50 high, yes, on this point, for example, and put in some probably of. I just put the equipment here, but you can of course use all the Revit possibilities to insert your equipment in the drawing, to put all the equipment in the drawing. So, and then I put some light, and also gonna have some motors. Yes, this one is good. Yeah. Okay, this one. That's some equipment. And in the first floor, I can have also some light. I put one here. Okay. Yes. Of course, that we can use Revit functionalities to put them better in the space. So it's just for the example. So what we can do now, we can select these lights and power them by this switchboard, and this one, create a new circuit for them. Control this. Okay. Select the panel. P2 is created. So we can see that in P2 where we have two circuits. And this can be connected also. We can select this circuit, modify the circuit, and we can add this one and this one to the circuit also. So okay, you can create it like that. Okay, it's good, and this one is not good. Okay, let's go because we keep it this here. When you finish this, we can go down now in the main floor and doing the same thing. Can connect this light, this circuit, powered, supplied by P1, and of course, but it's only two lights. That's enough for one circuit, but it's okay. Select by also P1. Okay, good. And now for motors, I can just select this one Now one circuit powered by, select panel, this one, just to see the line, and this one powered by P1, the same, and also this one. So you can generate the light just to see them. And we can just select the last one and select it by MSB. It's okay. Good. Okay. So we have this view on the circuit, and we have created the distribution network that you can see here, and all the circuit powered by P1. And so, of course, that you can use Revit possibility to create some documentation and load list, load balance, power balance, and things like that. Now, when you've created this, you can just save the project. So, gonna create a new folder. Say Revit demo. Yes, this one. Yes, demo 15. Okay. Just save the project. Everything that we have seen here have been done by Revit functionalities. You know, you associate your equipment to you create some circuit and connect the panel to another one, and we don't to recognize electrical families. We need the equipment to had to be defined in the right class, and also we need the electrical connector in each equipment to recognize them. We did not create some specific characteristics, some specific properties to connect with Revit families. So when you create this and you save your project, what we can do now is to check if this installation is well done, and then what we can do, we can complete, because as you can see in this project, the wire and the cable are not going through the cable trays. So we don't have the wheel length, you know. We cannot manage and tell this circuit had to go in this part of the cable tray. It just goes straight. And we don't really know exactly where how the cable is connected and where it's going to. So to be sure of the length of the wire, we have to analyze the circuit. That's why we proposed Caneco BIM. Now, what we can do, we can check the project. So you use the checkup tools to analyze it. And Caneco BIM is creating a new view of the project. You can see that Caneco BIM is analyzing the electrical network, and it shows you in a new view of Caneco. You can see here exactly what he recognized. And he recognized exactly what we've created on Revit. But you can see here the cable tray. You can see the room, each space, because we need them to localize each equipment. You can see here the transfer, and we can see all panel that we have. What we propose at this point, we have different view. You have a distribution view just to see all panel. You have a circuit view just to see all circuit, and the installation is the detail of all the installation. So what you can do in this point, you can select, for example, the length of the circuit connected each panel. You can say this circuit, you want to associate 20% more on the length of the wire. You see, you add 20% more on this length of P1. So you have 18 meters. And you can also force the length. You can say for this circuit, you need 15 meters, for example. You can first, sorry, in millimeters. Yes, 15 meters. That's one things you can do. What you can also do, you can create a bus bar, for example. You know, for this light, you can see here, it's a light circuit. You can, yes, for this one to share, you can select this circuit and this one in P1. You can say you want to put them under bus bar called, for example, light bus bar, LBB. And what happened, you can see that this, under P1, you have a new bus bar that you can to control the light circuit and things like that. And you can also associate a Revit style of circuit, to a Caneco style of circuit. You can define exactly which circuit that you need by choosing style of circuit, and you can choose exactly if you need a motors, sockets, lights. You have different kind of circuit that you can define here. So you can associate them exactly to prepare the schematic of Caneco. So when you finish to analyze and complete your installation with these tools, we can see that the information is kept. We can just save this modification and export the project to Caneco BT or export to Caneco implementation. So let's export it to Caneco BT. Desktop, you have the project CC1504, and you can save the project. It's a save BIM file, mean Caneco BIM file. So at this point, you can just start Caneco BT. And we will import the project in Caneco BT, and you will see how the circuit will be generated and things like that. Okay, of course. At this point, we have a new functionality. A new functionality called Caneco BIM in Caneco to import the Revit project. So you can go here and select in the project that we've created today. Yes, this one. Go in. It has been created today. We just opened the project, and we have a view of the network that we are going to import. You can just select it. And you can of course manage all the index at each importation. Each time that you import a project, you can create an index to know exactly what you import. So you have the view of what we import from Revit. We have created, you can see here the brush bar that we've created, LBB light and light brush bar, and you can see it here. You can see also that for P1, we have modified the length. You have it here also. We have the length of the wire had been modified. What we can see, you can see that we are going to work with aluminum cable. That's something that we can modify here, and we also can modify it in Revit. Even if you have imported the circuit on Revit, you can continue to work and modify things on Revit. For example, I can select this circuit here. No, I can select all of them on Revit, exactly as I done here, and associate them to the kind of wire that I want to use. I don't want to use aluminum, I want to use copper. So let's just create this and save it again. And after that, I can check to see if the information have been stored. I can modify just to see, yes, now we are in copper. You can see it here. We are in copper. You can see it here. So now I can export again. Wait, I can modify this one. So when I get back to Caneco, I can just update my drawing. You see, Caneco BIM, the link is kept, so I can just update. And you can see now, you know, the cable have been modified. So when you work, you can modify things. You can create new circuits. You don't have to rewrite things. You just the Caneco BT just update the project. So it's good. So I forget to modify for the sources, but I can do it here. The kind of cable that I'm gonna use, can choose here, and today I want to do it in copper. So what I can do, I can just calculate the installation, and if I want at this point, I can create a new circuit, a new switch to protect, you know, the main switchboard at the top. And you have in Caneco BT, just to I'm gonna just show you a quick presentation that you can choose to work with the manufacturer you want. You have ABB, you have Eaton, you have GE, you have Ager, Legrand, Merlin-Gerin. You have all the manufacturer that you used to work with. So you can choose then here and make Caneco BT calculate with the manufacturer that you want. And then you can create the power requirement and calculate the installation. If you want to have more information on Caneco BT, you can just ask to your sales contact for all distribution to have more information. So we can choose the protection that you want to use. So, and the calculation is complete. So yeah, choose exactly the protection it needs. And for here, so as we don't have a lot of circuit, we not calculate a switch with the big amps and things like that, you know, just calculate with the consumed and with the load that we add. So as we don't have some different kind of circuit, it's a little project. So just to show you, so at this point, you can just save your project. I show you that you have just analyzed and calculate your circuit, and Caneco BT just tell you if it's good. So he had defined different kind of protection for each circuit. You can see that the protection have been defined, and the protection have been defined here. All of them have been defined. So at this point, you can just save the project. You can also export the schematic to Revit. I mean, you can export the graphic. You can choose exactly which kind of graphic you need. For example, you can say, I need to export the network single line. You can export the network single line of the project. Or if you want, you can export another one. You can export, for example, a broad single line project by circuit, you know. You just choose the kind of what you want to import. And then when the calculation is done, you can now come back to Revit to update your project. So, because just to show you, at this point, if I select, for example, this circuit or this circuit, we have created some properties, some new properties that you want here. Now we don't, it's not complete yet. We are going to import the Caneco BT project. To update the Revit model, import, you say import to Caneco BT project. Gonna choose where the project we've created today, this one. You can have the project here you have just created. Say open. Okay, an update has been complete. Please restart the Explorer. Okay. Though for each circuit, if I select it here, we can see that, the information have been updated in the model. And also we have changed the Revit characteristic corresponding to what Caneco BT defined. So we have a link with Caneco and Revit at this point. We can update the Revit model. And of course, you have the choice to define exactly which property that you want Caneco BT to create in the Revit model. You have the choice. If you don't want Caneco BT to create new properties, you can define it. You have the choice here. You can choose exactly for circuit board supply which characteristic you want to create in the model. So that's what we create. And of course that we can import the diagram. We are on this project. You can select all the diagram that we've created. Today, just like a view, a design view that you have for each panel, all the information that you can use, all the information that we've created on Caneco, you can find them here. Exactly, and also the network diagram that we had on Caneco. You just find them in Revit, and you can just modify and complete the schematic if you want. This is the first point where to discuss to link or to connect Caneco BT with Revit to analyze correctly with the right standard on Caneco. And you have your diagram, and as you see for the supply, you choose your standards. You have a list of standards. You can define which standard you want to work with. VDE, British standard, etc. You have different kind of standards. So you define exactly what you want to work with, and also you have a list of each cable and different kind of manufacturers, and yes, you have of the a complete database, a big database that we Caneco BT proposed. And at this point, what you can do, you can have a view of the size of your panel, as I told you. You can define the size of the panel. So just have a quick view of the front of the panel and how all the components are placed in the switchboard. So what happened now? The Caneco is calculate and define exactly the size of the enclosure. You can choose ABB, Legrand, or Schneider to choose to work with. So you can define the kind of protection, and of course, if you want to have more information on how it works, you can contact your sales contact. Now just to show you exactly a quick presentation and on how you can create and size your panel. And if you have defined things, you have a list of things that Caneco BT have defined, and if you have some equipment that you want to complete, you can complete it more to define exactly which equipment that you want. And then you have this view of the installation of the board. You can have a door view, and you can also have an equipment view with the bar here. You define exactly what you want. This is what Caneco BT can do. And of course, that you can have a cost of the installation with each equipment that we have defined, and also the manufacturer discount that you have. You can add your discount here and manage the cost of each equipment. So don't hesitate to come to ask to your sales contact of Caneco BT. So let's go back to Caneco implementation now. Now let's go back to Revit and see how you can work with Caneco implementation. So in this project, we have seen that we have created different cable trays, and we have created cable trays, and we have updated the Revit model with Caneco BT calculation. So we know now for each circuit how it has been calculated, which wire, which protection on the top. Now what we can do, so we can just export this project to analyze the wire, to generate and create all the wires of the project. So how it works? It's simple. Just to check again before exporting the project, and you use Caneco BIM to export to Caneco implementation. So just go there on desktop, same folder today, and export a BIM elec file. BIM elec, because it's not only the electrical properties, we also have all the families, all the component of the project. So it describes also the graphics of the object, and also its characteristic. That's what we call BIM elec. So when we have export the project, we just come in AutoCAD. In AutoCAD, you have a new tool that we call Caneco implementation. Caneco implementation is this tool that working with AutoCAD, and I'm gonna show you just how it starts and how it works exactly. We have these tools called Caneco implementation that you start, and you can choose which on which AutoCAD you want to work, and you see, you choose which AutoCAD you want to work with, and your language. You want to work in English, in French. Let's choose in French because I've got some database that I want to use. There's a mix of my OS, so I don't want to mix everything, and I want to show you exactly how it works. So I can start the project, and then it will start automatically the AutoCAD. AutoCAD just start, and then you will see exactly how we can work with Caneco implementation and AutoCAD. So now we have this view on AutoCAD. So what is Caneco implementation? Caneco implementation in AutoCAD is this. You have some ribbon that you can manage implementation, cable trays, and things like that. So how it works? It's simple. You can, for example, create new panel. You say, I want to create a new panel. Just a quick presentation. You can choose to have your panel, and you have it in the drawing. And you can say, I want new equipment. You can select circuit, so you have a view of the different kind of circuit. It's based on DWG, and that can be on 2D or on 3D. However, so you can also create cable trays. Just select the tracks and just create them. Very simple to work on AutoCAD platform. So you just create it, and you can also have a 3D view. You have this. You can create the verticality if you want, the vertical cable trays if you want or not. And here the focus is to select this component and say powered by a new circuit. And okay, you can see that it's automatically connected or each equipment, and the label of each equipment is automatically generated with the characteristic, and we can just choose of each equipment, etc. We have just connect them. That's what is Caneco implementation. And you can also seed all wires of each equipment that you can see here. And of course, I can select this wire if I want to and say this equipment is going through the cable trays. And you're going through the cable tray, taking the short arrays, and so you manage the way that you want to connect. You can also say this equipment. You can exactly manage the way of the wire is going through, and every time you can select the wire and say cable tray, the cable not going through the cable trays. Say here circuit cable trays. So you don't go to the cable trays. So that's what you can manage exactly where the wire is going through. Here the cable trays, you can say yes, you can go exactly. So you manage exactly the length of cable tray. So in this process, based on this process, you can create a new project on AutoCAD, and now you're gonna import the project that we've created on Revit. So we're gonna just import this project that we've just created. In this one, we have the BIM elec file that we've created this time. You just import the project, and what you can see is all the components have been created, and the connectors is automatically connected. So we've created all the equipment, and we generate, coming from the panel, coming from the switchboard, you have a view of all equipment. That's what is good. And you can also manage the view to see that you want to work on the main floor. So you only see the main floor. So you are on AutoCAD, and you can see that you can generate your wires, your cable exactly. And, for example, for this light, I can select this cable and say run through the cable tray. So the cable will run to the cable tray. So you can select this one. I can say the same, run to the cable tray, and you can see that on this view. Wait, I want to move it. You can see exactly that the cable ran. That's what that's very interesting and to manage. And now let's see how we can size exactly how we can size and the cable. I'm gonna update all the cable with the calculation result that we have calculate with Caneco BT at the with the same project. This is the Caneco BT file, the calculation file we have defined on Revit is the same because we're working on a BIM process, so all the circuit is the same, and he knows them, so we just update them. We don't have to redone thing, everything is kept because we know exactly each equipment based on the unique GUID, unique identifier. And now we have a list of all the cable and the size of each of them have been calculate and name. And now what we can do, we can make some requests on the cable trays to see exactly what happened in this part of the cable tray. You have this view, and you can see the wires, all of the wires on it. And you can define if you want to put them in 2 layers. Let's make it in 2 layers, or to keep them in 1 layers and size the cable trays. You can. At this point, we can just calculate. You can say calculate the size of cable trays to know where it's big enough. So you have a view of a kind of label describe the cable tray to see now it's too big because if we have a view, we have the cable tray is too big for the cable on it that going to on it. So you have the choice to define exactly what you want. You can choose this one and say reduce. You can reduce the cable tray, and you will find exactly the right size in the manufacturer that you have choose to resize the cable trays. You know, you automatically resize it, and after that we will be able to update the Revit model. So at this point, what we can do, we can also create some legend. You can create a new legend of all the equipment, a list of a sample legend, you know, just for the list of materials. And you can see here the legend, the motors and the light. You have the list of these materials. You can also create a sample diagram for very low voltage. For weak voltage, you can create a diagram from select the panel, main switchboard, and you can say exactly you want to see the name of the circuit, the name of the room, where the equipment is, etc. You can select everything that you want, and you can generate this kind of diagram automatically in the installation. So you can generate exactly, you have the name of the circuit and things like that. And then you can also create a detail, some cable list. I mean, let's create the cable list. For this, I just create a database cable. Cable, and then with this data KX, we analyze all the cable trays, and we will be able to generate some list of materials. For example, cable list. You have all of the cable. We can say create a cable list. It will generate a kind of documentation going in details of all the installation, telling you exactly where the cable is coming from and where it's going to which equipment is connected to which panel is coming from. So it gives in details exactly what happened in the cable trays and how the installation is done. And it's an Excel file that you can, of course, create your own view and create your own parameters, and by choosing exactly what you want on it. So it generates line by line, circuit by circuit, cable by cable to create this kind of documentation that you can see, that you will create here. So you see, it just generates a cable, an Excel file that you can see here. You have the list of cable, the kind of cable here. Let's take a zoom on it. It tells you exactly which kind of distribution, the circuit, where the cable chain, which space, which kind of the cable tray. So it go in details to tell you what happened on the cable trays. This, we can of course do something with some less information. So you can generate a sample cable trace. This is a cable with details, a cable list with details, detailing all the cable and all the cable tray arrays. And we can also create a sample documentation, a cable list, just to where it's coming from, the beginning and the ending of the circuit. So that's what we can generate, the kind of documentation you can automatically generate after that you have defined. And what we can also create, it's a list of all the section that we have. For example, you can just say create all the section on the drawing. It will automatically generate on the drawing all you automatically generate them. So we have a view of all of them, and this one have been resized, and we can create the documentation related with this view. So we can create a section view. Yes, of course, we have some warning to tell you if you want to generate it. So we have the different view here, and of course we can create the documentation related with this installation. You have this view. That's what is very important. You have exactly the details of your cable trays and how it is managed. You have this view. It's very important. It's very powerful tools. So after that, what we can do now, we can, when we finish to create documentation, we can just save the project. We can just save the project, and now we save the project, and we can go back to Revit, and we will be able to update the Revit model, the Revit cable trays. So let's put on this view, and we go in and check up again to import what we've created in with Caneco implementation. We just come in import and say import Caneco implementation project. So we're on the same folder. You can see that on the same time here. Just select this project and close it. You say BIM OK to save it. You can see that yes, it tells you that it will be update the cable tray, the Caneco BT file. So import the Caneco BIM project. So you can see that the cable trace has been updated. You can see exactly here the cable tray has been updated on Revit with the size that Caneco implementation defined. So that is the Caneco BIM process. It's very powerful process, and we invite you to exactly to see and to contact us if you want to have more information than if you want to have more information on BIM process, BIM elec process, and how you can manage your electrical design. Don't hesitate to contact me by email or in ALPI. You can have all the information on the ALPI internet site, and so I will be available to answer to all your requests. So see you later.